the answers, no answers. I could find you, I could find
From the Sporting News Studios, this is Hot Corner with your host, Matt Latevsky.
I got all the answers, all the answers. I could find you, I could find all the answers. If you let me get it close and study you.
Back again, another big week. We don't have much to talk about this week.
Oh, we'll find stuff to talk about.
We'll find stuff, but there isn't much.
We're pros. We'll make something out of nothing.
That's true. It's a big week, but we don't have much to talk about. I don't know how those two things mesh. But anyway, Matt Latevsky here, Sporting News, fantasy senior editor, along with DAZN employee, fantasy baseball enthusiast Eric Ferreira. Not as enthusiastic this season as past seasons.
No, I think since we started doing the podcast, both football and baseball,
kind of has been a curse.
It's been like a struggle.
It's been a curse.
It's been a curse, for sure.
Well, it's been a curse. But it's a long season. I don't know if you ever heard
and it's
that
funny,
about
like
fantasy baseball before.
I'm still fighting, man. I'm not giving up until...
No, should never give up.
Like, it's still first 2 months. There's still more season left to go.
I know, but it gets shorter every week.
It does.
At what point are we not
but there's still more,
early?
Well, there's more season left than has been completed.
That's true.
So it's
true.
First 2 months, see what you got. Next 2 months,
I don't think most people give it.
Get what you need.
Okay.
Last 2 months, run it down.
All right. Sage advice. All right, so we're going to go over waiver pickups like we do every week, some free agents. We always dive into sort of a different stat, not one of the standard stats. We get weekend streaming.
Big, long weekend coming up this weekend.
Honestly, that's really all I want to talk about was that we killed it last week again. So we killed it, killed it. Now we got... we probably should have included Memorial Day. People kind of include that in the weekend, but we didn't. And we don't have many. Because this is the thing. We don't force it.
Well, I know I don't force it.
I don't either. You think I do, but that's just because because I'm just better than you.
Last week you put a bunch of names on there.
Yeah, and they hit.
And this week when we were doing our prep, I said, hey, man, I only got one for Friday, one for Saturday. I don't like to force it. Like, I want to give the users, give the listeners, like, good advice. So I'm not just going to reach. And you kind of looked at me.
I didn't look at you.
But then I noticed you took my advice and you only gave them two picks too.
At you.
So you looked at me.
Look at you.
You gave me a little bit of a look.
I just assumed you were being lazy and I'd find more good choices.
No. I'm more trying to be pinpoint accurate.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But there weren't a lot this week. So, but look, we're not going to just.
I mean, how many games can the Giants and Blue Jays play in the Marlins?
Blue Jays, Marlins, Tigers against righties. They can only play so many.
Right.
And if they're playing a team where all the pitchers are already owned, there's not much we can do for you. And we get into some closer talk again, as always. Again, not a ton this week, but we got a little bit.
Some late hitting action last night.
A little bit. It always seems to happen
Stuff
that
to at
way,
least
doesn't
mention.
it? Doesn't it? It seems like the big days for closer happenings are Wednesday or Tuesday and Wednesday.
Right. But then
it's right after we get done recording.
Well, no,
the day before.
And then prospects come up right after we get done recording.
Riley you know, we talked about Ira, we talked about Mercado, and then Riley gets the call like that afternoon, I think.
So don't think we don't know about him.
Right.
He's just 65%
he's
owned already?
He's already owned. Like,
if you're in the lucky 35%, go pick him up.
Yeah, he's out there. Those leagues.
That's about all the analysis you're going to get from us.
Dead leagues or 8-team leagues. Yeah, but he was killing the ball in AAA. He just kept killing the ball in the majors. So good for him. But yeah, let's get right into it. That's a good segue for this week's.
That's what I do, man. I'm a pro.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a pro. Segway pro.
You're a Segway pro. That's a thing, though, right? Like the
Probably,
Segway.
Yeah. I want no part of a Segway.
What are they even? I mean, I guess they're just Segways, right? You don't call them a scooter or anything.
No, they're Segways. I mean, that's what they are. Because we have scooters now. I saw Segway.
But they don't go under their own like designation. Like, I'm sure they have a designation as a motor vehicle, like
a Segway,
legally.
Right?
But legally, they just sort of. You don't think so?
Legally, they're a Segway, right? I mean, they're a motorized thing.
But it's like how, you have a scooter and you have like a moped, and then if it's above X number of cc's, it's legally a motorcycle. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
But it's just
something you should never get on.
A Segway?
Yeah.
Why not?
And if you're a cop, you definitely shouldn't be like a Segway cop. That's worse than a bike cop.
What about a horse cop?
No, those are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one's going to mess with a horse cop.
Remember when Wade Boggs rode a horse around Yankee Stadium after
awful.
winning the World Series? All right, let's get into
So many great like picture ideas already for the podcast, like graphic.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like we already just...
Wade Boggs on a Segway?
Wade Boggs on a Segway. Horse on a Segway. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, 5 minutes in, and we've already got some great...
I'll forget about him, though, by the time we're done recording, and I'll be like, crap, what do we talk about? Let's use Miguel Sano. All right, let's get into some waiver pickups. A decent week. Last week we had the call-ups that were fun. This week we got a couple guys who... We got some post-hype guys that I always sort of like.
This guy fits that bill.
The first guy we'll talk about, old Willie Calhoun. This was a guy who was all about going into last year as a sleeper for the Rangers. Just did not play well at all. Spent the majority of the season in AAA. Started there this year. Hit well. He's up now. First 2 games he was up. He hit homers. Slowed down a little from that, but still playing pretty well. The Rangers seem to have a different guy every week. It's like, hey, Danny Santana's hitting well. Hey, this guy. And I don't know who's actually going to stick in the lineup, how much of it's injury related once, a guy like Andres comes back, how that changes things. But Willie Calhoun, do you think he's sticking and do you think he's worth picking up?
I think playing time's a problem. I think that, the guy was a big-time prospect, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
despite not being big in stature.
So, I mean, he can probably hit.
Yeah.
If he got a chance, and he's been okay. But I'm just looking at, and it's not like the Rangers don't have a couple of old guys in the spots, but you're looking at 4 spots, 3 outfielders, and a DH, right? You're looking at Chu, Mazzara, Pence, and Gallo.
Pence we talked about last. Pence is another one we talked about.
And he's still
last
hitting,
week.
and Chu's still hitting, and Gallo is hitting 295. He's not going anywhere. He's not in the lineup today.
Homers.
And then
like Logan Forsythe's another guy, see playing and doing well.
Right.
Just what's he doing?
Yeah, I mean today Calhoun's not even in the lineup today.
Right.
Are
they facing a lefty?
They're facing a lefty, but Gallo's out too.
Yeah.
Danny Santana's in center.
Yeah, that
Forsythe's
guy's playing
short.
really well.
But he also got pulled last night with a tight quad, so that might be a reason too. But just Calhoun.
Okay.
He had like 2 at bats and then he got pulled. But yeah, I think he can hit. I don't know how often you're going to be able to play him. Weekly lineup for sure.
Well, this is the Rangers are like the American League Rockies, where they have all these guys for all these spots, and it seems like the vast majority are lefties. Because it's so easy when it's like, hey, there's a lefty, there's a righty, they platoon.
Right, like the Dodgers.
The Dodgers, right?
I feel like the Dodgers have a 30-person roster just because they can do like a full platoon against either side.
Lefties and righties for everything. But with the Rangers, you just keep coming up lefty, it seems like, with a lot of these guys. And at a certain point, I guess you just got to play them.
Yeah, you wonder, like...
Calhoun, he had some infield, but in the past, in his sort of, I guess, makeup, but I don't know if they really
the guy who's not hitting is Mazzara.
Right.
Who's turned into such a boring...
Who's still 23.
Right. You're just waiting for a breakout, and he hits like
Lord knows we've
hits
bet
like
on
260.
Yeah.
He'll probably still get to his 20 home runs this year, but but you don't see him coming out of the lineup.
Right.
And if Chu and Pence are gonna hit, you're not going to take them out of the lineup.
And they're guys that they kind of probably want to feature to trade here in a little bit.
Yeah, and we know you're the trade guy. Like
I'm always looking
you're
at trades.
always. I mean, you are rushing guys out of town every week on this.
I'm not trying to take food off their plate. I'm just trying to get them to a different restaurant.
I mean, you really need to talk to these GMs. Like, hey, man, you guys probably should do a trade. Like, it's like they're not working hard enough for you to trade.
You guys trading yet, or yeah? So I don't know. I like them. But you're right. I don't know if he'll play at daily league, daily transaction league. Sure, if you can move him in and out, great guy to have around. Weekly league, woof. But man, he's always been a low strikeout guy, like a really low strikeout guy. He's doing it at the lowest rate he's ever done it. I mean, he's only played 6 games, but 8.3% K rate. But for a low strikeout guy, he can hit a lot of homers. You don't see that very often.
I have no problem with him as a hitter. As a highly touted guy who took maybe a little while to figure it out. I have no problem with that. And if he knocks the cover off the ball, they'll find a spot for him, I guess. I just think they got 4 guys for 4 spots ahead of him.
Right. No, I agree.
And 3 of them are lefties. So there's not even, I mean, Pence would be a platoon mate, and Pence is killing it right now.
Pence is killing it, and they're going to want to feature him to trade him. So that's a fact. But it's also, by the way, if you heard that a guy's named Willie Calhoun.
Yeah, I would think he's a Steelers guy.
Former second baseman.
Right.
5'8", 187.
Right.
I mean, you're like, what are you thinking, like 10 homers, 35 steals?
Something like that. I mean, you don't just throw around the name Willie.
No.
If the guy's not fast.
You don't. And
I wouldn't.
What do we got here? 6, 7, 8, 11 career minor league steals. And he's been in the minors for a while.
Some guys just buck the trend.
Some guys do. So, all right, that's old Willie. I feel like he sounds like he's from the past. Like blind Willie Calhoun could have been a blues musician, right?
Willie Calhoun in general could have been a blues
For sure, but also blind Willie Calhoun.
Yeah.
And then
what are you thinking? Trumpet, trombone,
saxophone.
sax?
Yeah.
What about the sousaphone?
I don't think anyone ever played that. I think that was made up.
I think people in high school played the sousaphone.
Do you think Steven Souza called his phone the sousaphone?
Yeah, you should.
That's some good baseball jokes right there.
He should.
That's baseball for you. And what else? Willie Calhoun, that could have been an explorer from like the 1700s who discovered a river, and they named it Calhoun River.
I'm not buying that one.
I think that's just as applicable.
I'm not buying Calhoun as an explorer.
I think there was a Calhoun.
He could be like a Yahoo in like a Deadwood setting. I feel like Willie Calhoun comes in. He's like just kind of like a gunslinger.
Okay.
Just kind of rides in, steals some stuff, maybe gets into some hijinks, and then it's off to another town.
John C. Calhoun, South Carolina, 1800s. He did something.
Yeah. I think we're spending a lot of time on Willie Calhoun.
Political leader, congressman, vice president.
You think it's time to maybe move on to the next one?
No. All right.
Juice Crone?
Juice. Let's get into Juice. We got a bunch of twins on this one. So Crone is a guy who started kind of slow. He's killing it. 300, 370, 629, triple slash. Absolutely destroying left-handed pitching. And obviously had a great year last year.
30 dingers last year.
30 dingers. It looked like, is he this year's Logan Morrison? Same. Raised to Twins. Falls off. But now he's picking it back up. He's owning around 50% of the leagues, give or take. So he could be there. Coin flip. Is he a guy? Is he just another first baseman? Or is he more than that?
Well, he fits into your whole I like that everyone around him is hitting home runs.
Right.
I like that the Twins are hitting homers, so that's going to keep him hitting homers.
Right.
It's funny. Probably 2 weeks ago, you kind of look at the first base waiver wire, and I did this in my league, and you kind of are like, I got first baseman, guy, I got names there. And I went looking back today, I was like, is Crone still out there? I could kind of use him. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Instead of Miguel Cabrera and Joey Votto.
You went AARP with that first base.
Yeah,
it's not working.
Sometimes you got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, right now I take CJ Crone and play him in my lineup over those two guys.
Every day.
Easy, no questions asked. And be completely fine with it.
He's a pickup, I think, for sure. Ideally you can just play him against lefties in a daily transaction, but he can hit righties too at a decent enough clip. And he showed enough last year. I think you can kind of trust him to be a pretty good producer.
And you like that team too.
Like that team, let's stick with that team. Let's jump ahead. We mentioned this guy a couple weeks ago when he was still rehabbing, said, hey, get in on him early. Maybe it didn't. He's still out there in a lot of leagues, though. If you didn't grab him, and now he's finally up. He's already hit 2 homers in 5 games. He's played, I think, every day except for last night. He finally got a day off, and that's Miguel Sano. Eligible at first and third, at least in Yahoo leagues for the Twins. We know what he's about, right?
Yeah, he's a power guy.
He's all power. He strikes out a ton. Last year was miserable.
It's funny, it was miserable, but he still hit 20. How many dingers did he hit last year?
I assume you're looking it up. I'm just going to leave some silence.
My internet doesn't work.
I was told not to talk anymore after Willie Calhoun, so I'm just...
Internet's a little shoddy down here in the Sporting News studios.
No, he only hit like 12 homers.
Oh, maybe I was looking at the year before.
Yeah.
I was looking. He's terrible average, but he's still going to find his way.
He hit 13 in 71 games.
Yeah,
so
that's
if you
not
go
bad.
by
You double that. That's 26.
26, and that's only 142 games.
Yeah.
That's still missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
So he's still going to get you power even if he can't hit and hits 200.
But also part of the reason he only played 71 games is because he got sent to the minors.
Yeah, it wasn't an injury. It wasn't an injury.
I mean, he was injured too, but he... just flat out sent to the minors and played the majority of his minor league games at high A, Like, they set him to A ball.
Yeah.
Because it was one of those where it was so bad, they were like, well, geez, you
Just
need to
start
get your
over.
confidence up.
Send him down to high school ball.
And look, he hit 328 at A ball.
Great. As a 20, how old? As a 20.
Well, age comes with an asterisk.
27-year-old.
Officially a 26-year-old.
26-year-old in high A.
Let's have some leeway with that age.
He's another guy on my team. I drafted him while he was hurt, threw him on IL, and was hoping for something if you need a power guy.
Look, I said a couple weeks ago when we talked about him, I like the fact that he's around. Like, he isn't the power hitter, the only power hitter.
Juice Cronus.
Well, I mean, Nelson Cruz is hurt right now, but obviously they got Rosario. They got Cruz when he'll be back. They got Crone. I mean, obviously Jorge Polanco's leading the AL in hitting. He's not a power hitter, but it's just they have offense.
I don't know. His slugging's up there, too. He's top 5 slugging.
I mean, he is. He's had a remarkable year. I'm glad he finally got off those PEDs and then is having a career year.
Should I be expecting a suspension?
He's already had one, my friend.
Another one? Well, another one would be...
Double jeopardy, bro.
Yeah.
They can't try him for the same crime twice.
I think they can.
Haven't you seen that movie?
I have.
It's got Ashley Judd.
But I think you can get nailed for steroids, PEDs, twice in baseball.
I don't think so.
Pretty sure.
So anyway, Miguel Sano, grab him. Look, the average is going to be not good. You're going to have to live with that. But this guy can crush homers with the best of them. So I like him. But, you know, speaking of playing time now with the Twins, they got some guys hurt, so that's opened up a little bit of playing time. But Sano's back now. Another guy, I don't know if you've been paying much attention to the Twins, but they got this kid, Luis Arias, who's a career .331 hitter in the minors. Little guy, doesn't hit homers at all, although he hit one last night, his first career homer. It was very exciting. He's 7 for 12 in his first 4 games.
Pretty good.
It's one of those things where
it's an embarrassment of riches in Minnesota.
I mean, you're laughing about it.
I have been watching the Twins a fair amount because I do have Polanco.
And it is like a thing where, now...
I have Blake Parker.
Right, because Garver's hurt, Cruz is hurt, so they have some openings, but when those guys are back, there really is... there's not enough spots for everyone to play.
I wish I played Sano this week, but I didn't.
So I do. So do you think playing time could be an issue for him?
I think it could, because I think if he does go into a prolonged slump, they've got guys they can use around him.
Because we laughed about Gonzalez, Marwin always finding a way. And all of a sudden he started hitting. Yeah. Because he was so bad.
Well, and you got Astudillo too.
Astudillo, who's solid. Castro's actually hitting too, so they have 3 catchers who are hitting the ball.
There's a lot of guys in that lineup.
A lot of dudes.
They're not going to be afraid to...
And like Buxton, who's the worst hitter, A, is like leading the league in doubles, so he's doing something, and B, he's the best defensive player in baseball, so he's got to stay in the lineup.
Just giving him best defensive. I saw him break wrong on a fly ball the other day.
He's actually had a couple
when my boy Kyle Gibson was pitching, and I was kind of like, I thought you were also in center field, and he wasn't.
I know.
No, but I mean, they have a lot of guys they can fill in if anyone goes slumping. So
that is a worry with Sano. All right, let's go back up. This is another. I don't know if he qualifies as post hype. It's almost post hype this season. Harrison Bader for the Cardinals. Popular sleeper on lots of lists, was pretty good last year, started really slow, kind of fell out of the lineup for a little bit. Now it looks like he's back in it. He's still hitting very low in the lineup, but in May, 306 average, 375 OBP, 472 slugging. There's a reason we all liked him before the year, right? So the ownership level's really fallen down.
He's got maybe 15 upside. Right. He doesn't have a steal yet, which you like. Because you're like, well, he's got 15 coming.
Oh, they're in him.
So if you just start playing him now, if you pick him up and start playing him now,
right,
you don't have to worry about that he hasn't stolen for you in 2 months.
Right.
You got 15 coming.
But are they coming? That's a tease for the next segment.
Okay.
A little bit of one.
Well, I mean, that's your thing, right? Like,
He's
all right. I don't love that he bats 8th in the National League. He led off the other day when Carpenter had a day off.
I mean, he does strike out a lot, but he's walking a ton this year, like way above his career marks from the minors.
Is it because he's batting 8th in front of a pitcher?
Probably part of it. Yeah, I'm sure part of it.
Then are you gonna lose out on steals in front of the pitcher because they're gonna sack you over?
Right.
So
I always say if you're a good base stealer, and he's probably not good enough, but if you are, steal second,
right, of course,
to third.
Of course, absolutely.
They never do that. Yeah. Very, very rare. Even with like elite base stealers, they don't.
Because they're like, we can bunt you there easy, and then leadoff hitter can knock you in on a single. So.
I don't know why teams don't you're going to ground out or hit the ball in the outfield more often than you're just going to.
That's the thing with him.
Singles.
I don't know if he.
But he's not that dude.
I mean, he's like grab a dude if you need one. I think. Okay. I think you can get.
I think he's kind of dime a dozen-y outfield.
Well, not a dime. I think you can get a run out of him, like a good run out of him. But I'm not sure if he's someone who's going to like be in your lineup.
Right.
Like from now to the rest of the year. I don't know if he can be that good.
Yeah.
Especially batting in the
hit
eighth
higher
spot.
than eighth.
Yeah.
Has to. All right, let's go with another outfielder who may be dime a dozen. Bryan Reynolds, Pirates. He sounds very.
He sounds like, I'm Bryan Reynolds.
Bryan Fellows?
Yes.
I'm Bryan Reynolds.
I'm Bryan Reynolds.
That's crazy.
That's what I think of when I saw this guy.
Bryan Reynolds?
Bryan Reynolds.
I think of Dennis Reynolds. Do you think he has a Bryan system?
A what?
Like, the dentist system?
Oh.
I don't know what his would be. So yeah, Bryan. But
sorry to throw you off there, but I thought Bryan Fellows was worth mentioning.
Oh, it was. I always like being reminded of Bryan Fellows.
By the way, DAZN employee Bryan Fellows, right?
Well, I don't think he's an employee.
Endorser, ambassador.
Yeah, we don't see him around the office, but yes, Tracy Morgan does DAZN commercials in DAZN custom sweatsuits.
I saw him in the cafeteria today.
Yeah, we don't have a cafeteria. So this is a guy. Look, he's not really getting any attention at all, but ever since he's been called up this year, he's been hitting 320, 363, 533, triple slash. So he's a switch hitter, but he's way better against lefties. And he has a really high BABIP right now. So those are reasons to sort of be concerned. But you look at his minor league numbers, at no stop in the minors at any point, no matter how long he was there, did he ever hit below 300. It's kind of like Arias, who I mentioned earlier, just hits.
Well, I looked at those minor league numbers, and what I saw is that he doesn't hit home runs.
Okay.
And he's not, and I was like, let me take this a little deeper. Is he a small guy? He's 6'3", 205.
Says the guy playing Miguel Cabrera and Joey Votto every day.
So he doesn't hit home runs. He's 6'3", 205. He's a second-round pick. I thought it was kind of odd that he didn't hit home runs.
God, you're such a power
and
supremacist.
He's not in a great park. You got the high BABIP there.
Okay. So you're just out.
Lukewarm.
Doesn't really run either.
Yeah. So
what are we doing? This is Brian Anderson. Why are these guys named Brian? Just so.
I don't know. I'm lukewarm. I'm kind of like, eh.
No, I get it. He's, those are, but look, Josh Bell didn't really hit homers in the minors, and he's hitting 450-foot shots now.
Yeah, well, he's like the best player in baseball.
Pittsburgh. He was really good. We should have put him on our home run team instead of Daniel Murphy or Joey Votto. Same price, but we didn't. Yeah, but look, he was hitting homers this year. He had 5 in 13 games.
Yeah.
He's hit 3 in the majors in 25 games. Developing power. He's 24 now. I don't know. I think I like him more than you, but...
What's the playing time situation in Pittsburgh?
It's pretty consistent. I mean, it helps that he is a switch hitter.
Right.
Like I said, he hits way better against lefties, but...
Dickerson's out right now, though, right?
So that's part of it.
When's he coming back?
I mean, I just always assume never. Now, I don't know for sure. Feels like he's out. Just gonna be out. Then all of a sudden he'll be back one day.
If you pick this guy up, you can change your team name and your team picture to
to Bryan Fellows.
Well, yeah. Well, no, you can say I'm Bryan Reynolds.
Bryan Reynolds
for your team name, and then you can use Tracy in your picture.
Fair enough, Tracy. First name basis.
Yeah. Well, I saw him at work this morning.
That's a good one. No, you didn't. All right,
he's upstairs.
Let's get into a couple pitchers. We got another twin. We're talking a lot about the Twins, but look. They're like the best team in baseball.
Someone here's a Twins fan.
I can't. It's not my fault they're good. I don't know what you want me to do. But look, we talked about Martin Perez in the past. Now we go to another one of these guys, Kyle Gibson, who is, I think, your classic streamer.
Yep. I picked him up a couple weeks ago to stream, and he's still in my squad.
Classic streamer. But he's pitching better than a streamer this year, I think. You look at the ERA overall, it's not great, but striking out over a batter per inning, that's a career high. Only 2.3 walks per 9. Last 6 starts, he had a little rough start to the year. Last 6, though, 3.28 ERA, 104 WHIP. Obviously, they score runs.
Yeah, no,
the bullpen's way better this year.
Good team, good park, good division to pitch against. I like him. I got, if the weather holds and the rotation holds, I got his next 3 starts versus the White Sox, at Tampa, at Cleveland. Not afraid of any of those teams, any of those ballparks.
Tampa's pretty good, but yeah, you're not.
Yeah, but I'm not like afraid. Like I'm not
Right.
benching guys against Tampa.
Yeah.
So I think if you were to grab him, I think you had at least a 3-star.
At least 3 out of
little runway there.
Yeah.
He's on my team. I've had him for most of these 6 starts. He hasn't been awesome, but
Good
he's been
enough.
pretty good. Yeah.
Good enough for a back of the rotation type guy. Yeah, I think so. I think he fits that bill. And then this is another weekend streaming fixture this year because we always talk about his name, how it's pronounced, Tyler Mahle. For the Reds, I think he's more in a stream. You look at the numbers, 9.5 Ks per 9, under 2 walks per 9. The peripherals are great. Or advanced stats anyway are great. You look at you go inside the numbers a little bit. The ground ball percentage is low, which you don't like at a tiny park like he pitches in Cincinnati. Swinging strike rate's low, which doesn't really jibe with the 9.5 Ks per 9. So I do wonder if that's coming down soon. But right now everything profiles really well. You just don't really like the team or the park.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind the offense. I don't like the park. It's the guy I've had my eye on a little bit. I feel like I've watched a lot of Reds baseball this year, too. It must be the Joey Votto and Puig thing going on.
Just torturing yourself?
I think he's been on my radar. He's got 9 starts this year. 5 of them, he's only allowed a run or 0 runs, which I like.
Yeah.
So that's good. He goes 5 innings, at least 5 innings every time. I know that's not a super high bar, but he stays in the game. My only problem with him right now, you talk about holding him, his next 3 at home versus the Cubs, that scares me. Against the Nats, well, I don't have where that game is, and then against St. Louis. Okay. So not a great next 3. Not a great next 3. So actually, I think it might be.
Nats aren't great against righties, though. They're actually,
Yeah, that one's just at Cincinnati, so it scares me a little bit.
Well, and it also is like, okay, well now Trey Turner's back. Like that changes a lot of things about that.
I'd rather face the Nats in Washington.
Yeah.
But just, I thought about picking them up, and then I kind of charted those out, and I was like, I think I can wait.
I mean, you do look at his starts, and you look at a lot of the good ones are against some pretty bad teams. Now, granted, his last start, 6 shutout innings against the Dodgers. They're one of the best teams against righties. And then he gave up 4 runs to the Giants, who we love to pick on. Right. So you never know with that kind of stuff. Overall, more good than bad this year.
Yeah, it's just anytime I'm on the fence about a pitcher, I kind of like to look 2-3 starts out to see if this is the right time for it. Yeah. And I do like him. He's been on my radar for a bit now. But I'm gonna hold off a little bit longer on him, I think.
Fair enough. You don't like.
I'd rather have Gibson than him.
But you could change your team name to You've Got Mahle. You've Got Mail.
That's pretty good.
Because people still think it's Mail, I think, even though it's not.
For sure they do. Yeah.
So something to consider.
And then
I like making my pickups based on how it will affect my team name.
Right. Well, the guy, the backup catcher for the Blue Jays is
Luke Mail, right?
Well, no, he's Maile.
Oh,
so this guy's Mahle and he's Maile.
They're trying too hard.
Yeah, he's Luke Maile.
Yeah, I think they're. So both, I think they're both actually male, and they got made fun of for that.
Yeah. So would you rather have Gibson or Mahle?
Gibson.
Yeah,
but it's pretty close.
Me too, especially thinking the next week and a half.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think so. And then also, we should mention too, last week we talked about Oscar Mercado. Now Cargo got DFA'd. What a fall. He's just going to re-sign with the Rockies.
Yep, and screw someone out of it.
Someone out of play. But again, they're all lefties, so how can you predict who it's going to be?
We talked about Mercado last week.
Yeah.
Just about, I don't think we talked a lot about playing time.
Right.
But with Cargo gone, it seems like that's kind of the vote of confidence to Mercado to be like, here, you've got a bigger opening here to run with.
I think one of the reasons we didn't talk about playing time is because we look and we see sort of just like Jordan Luplow and stuff. Yeah. And we're like, well, who cares?
Right.
But that does matter. But I feel like he's not way better than him.
But when you
possibly
when you DFA a guy like Cargo, who at least has a history and is a name, when you DFA a guy like that, you're saying you're completely cool playing someone else in my mind.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's get into. It's not really an advanced stat. It's just not a standard stat.
Yeah.
And we're going to look at stolen base attempts team-wise.
Okay.
And the reason I like to look at this stat is because, at this point in the year, sort of can give you an idea of, hey, this team's running, this team isn't. Obviously, this will be inflated if they have a premier base stealer. Of course, those numbers are going to be inflated, but I think it does give us an insight into team philosophy. And in some cases, and a great example, you were talking about this, you have Jorge Polanco, he's been great, but you kind of think like, hey, I have Jorge Polanco, he's going to steal 10 to 15 bases. Well, the Twins don't run. Rocco Baldelli's like, I let Byron Buxton run, and that's it.
Do you think he's not letting them run? You think he's like,
yes.
I have a powerful lineup,
Yes.
so has he said it?
I mean, it's a combo. I don't think he has said it, but it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
I mean, no one ever runs except Byron Buxton.
Right.
It's like, look, we can hit homers.
And they're hitting
Why are we going to run?
3 home runs every single game.
So, so if you have a player that you're sort of counting on, like, hey, he's going to get more steals soon. Like we mentioned it with Bader. Well, you look at where are the Cardinals. Okay, Cardinals have had 34 team steals. That's right around the middle of the league.
Team steals or attempts?
Attempts, sorry. That's 11th. Okay.
Yeah, why don't, for reference here, on our list, we've got the highest team at 67.
Correct.
The Royals.
But then a huge drop.
Huge drop to 46, and then the lowest team, Twins and Blue Jays at 17. So just to give an idea, we're looking at between 17 and 67.
Yeah.
So when the Cardinals are 34, whatever, they're smack in the middle.
Right, but they're 12th overall or 11th, whatever I just said. So a little higher than average, I suppose, because I mean the Royals 67, then it drops to 46, and these numbers are from before Tuesday's game, so there's some stuff Tuesday night, but. So they're up there. So you probably can expect Bader to start running a little bit more and probably pick up some steals for you, a guy like that. So if there is a guy you're on the fence on, hey, whether it's a pickup, whether it's a trade, and you're trying to figure out, hey, how is he going to run and help me get these steals I need? It's a good thing to look at. So let's just look at the top 5 and the bottom 5. The Royals blown everyone away, not a surprise.
We pretty much knew that going in.
We know it's team philosophy, but when you got Merrifield, Mondesi, and Billy Hamilton, you're just going to run. It's just how it is. But I don't know if there's any other guys on that team who matter. I don't know. Not really, right? It's like Alex Gordon. He doesn't really run much
Soler,
anymore.
he's not going to run. Dozier's not going to run.
So it's pretty much those 3 guys, and if you got them, that's why you got them.
Terrence Gore.
We made fun of him so hard earlier, and he's gotten some hits this year.
Yeah.
Good for him. Showed us. All right, next up, Indians. So is that a surprise to you?
Jose Ramirez, Lindor. I mean, Lindor was out for a while.
Right.
Who else? Greg Allen got some extra playing time, right?
But now they got Marcus. So I think that's something good for Mercado.
Yep.
Because we know that's sort of his thing anyway.
We know they're not hitting.
Yeah, that's true.
We know they're not hitting, so if a team's not hitting, they're going to have to try and do something else.
Might as well. Third, White Sox.
Okay. So
kind of surprised me, but it makes sense.
That's because Lurie Garcia's playing a lot more than
Tim Anderson's running. They got Moncada who can run.
Yeah.
So I think that if that tells you anything about anyone, I think maybe Moncada could get more steals. Like it's not out of the team philosophy to try to run.
Yep.
Then we got the Rangers at 44. And,
I don't really know who's making that up.
I mean, Andrews. Danny Santana.
Yeah. Is Odor running at all? I mean, we know Mazara's not running.
Odor used to run.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Depends.
I don't know who's really running on that squad.
Shields?
The Shields, but he got sent down.
Yeah. Kind of a weird team, but they're willing to go. And then the Mariners, the team that we thought was going to have a lot more. Now, they sent Malik Smith down. They've had some other issues. Now D. Gordon's hurt, but they're at 42, and not a surprise. They are going to run.
No, one of the guys, and of course my internet's out again, so I can't get his numbers, but one of the guys that is a little bit of a surprise is Mitch Haniger, who I want to say has 4 or 5 steals already, and he's not a 10 steals guy.
Right.
So
or hadn't been in the past or something?
Yeah, hadn't been in the past. Now, he's already on a team.
Right.
He's already on your team or whatever, but...
He's 4 for 4 in steal attempts. He stole 8 last year.
Yeah, so I mean, he's a little bit ahead of that pace. Maybe he has his first 2010 season.
Right.
So that's the only guy there that I thought was, besides obviously Gordon and Smith, that maybe they are running a little more. I mean, what's his name, the manager last year? Was Service the manager last year? Or was he a new manager? I forget. They have a new philosophy there.
Relatively new.
Yeah.
One way or another. Let's look at the bottom. Blue Jays. That could just be because guys can't get on base.
Yeah.
I don't know. They they just don't. Yeah, there's no one you think of on the Blue Jays who's going to run. There's not many guys.
Would anyone be on, besides Vlad, would anyone be not only on your fantasy team, but starting from the Blue Jays? I mean, maybe Grichuk, maybe.
Yeah, because Galvis could maybe be on a team. Rowdy, maybe.
I mean, is anyone starting Rowdy?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
He doesn't have I was actually kind of surprised by how low his ownership was.
So we're talking about one dude.
And I mean, he really hasn't been. I mean, he was AL Player of the Week last week, but he had really got off to a rough start. But obviously, he's around.
Yeah, they're not good.
Yeah, they're rough. Billy McKinney, get the hell out of here. They got the one dude, Jonathan Davis, who can steal some bases. But yeah, they're rough. All right, Twins. We talked about them. They're just
if that's a philosophy, the main guy that's hurting is Polanco, I would think.
And Rosario.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he was another guy. Maybe Kepler. Like, people sort of looked at them as guys who can steal some bases, and I just ain't doing it. Padres. Phillies. Yeah, why would they run?
Yeah, the one guy.
Segura and McCutchen.
Well, McCutchen, yeah. I mean, I thought, McCutchen, and he's been getting on. He's not really hitting, but he walks every game, and he leads off or hits after a pitcher. I thought I might get 15 steals from him this year. Definitely 10. I think he has 2.
Right.
And if that's a philosophy, I kind of, I thought I was going to get some steals from him.
Yeah, and Segura.
I thought he was going to chip in.
I mean, and I know he's been hurt, but he only has 4 attempts this year, 3 steals.
Yeah. Well, when he was hurt, was he hurt? Did he have a hammy?
Something, yeah.
Or was it another injury?
Well, I mean,
I think it was lower body.
It was, but whatever it is, but still, that's a guy people probably took expecting at least 20 from.
Yeah.
And he could still get there, but I am wondering if maybe they're just.
The guy I'm disappointed is
you
McCutchen.
got Harper, you got Hoskins,
because
he
has been on first base with no one in front of him a ton.
Yeah, so that's not necessarily a guy. Now the Dodgers make sense. I guess they don't really have a lot of speedsters anyway.
It's funny, like Bellinger. Yeah. Bellinger's got what, 6, 7, 8 steals out of these 20. I know Seager took one last night.
Right, that was his first of the year.
Verdugo might have a couple.
Granted, Seager hasn't been hitting that well, but. He's picking up a little bit, but I don't, you can't expect a ton. Then we got the Cubs.
Well, the Cubs is funny. Like, Baez hasn't been running at all.
That one surprised me.
But he ran last year, and it's the same team, right?
It's like Baez, I feel like Bryant usually has more than you kind of expect, and they sort of have a team that'll run more and be aggressive.
Rizzo can take a couple. Like, I don't know. That might be an outlier. That could change.
Something to watch.
I mean, I've been disappointed Baez hasn't been running. Mm-hmm. I guess he's just too great of a hitter now.
Yeah. So anyway, something to look at and consider. Doesn't tell you everything because sometimes it just, hey, this team's low because they're bad.
And it's only been 2 months.
Right. So it could change, and maybe matchups even dictate it a little bit. So just something to keep in mind. All right, let's get weekend streaming.
Any new songs this week?
I didn't think of it. I feel like we've hit the perfect songs.
Yeah, we've hit the perfect ones, yeah. I'm not going to sing this week, though.
Like, you just texted me, stream on Friday?
Yeah, after we got a good one, I was like, stream on. Stream on, bro.
I just imagined you shrieking it like Steven Tyler, and it was
I did that last week
disturbing
for the loyal listeners. But
yeah, I know.
I just want to say, though, you are kind of rocking a weekend streaming outfit today. The shorts, the short sleeve polo.
Yeah.
Are you doing some midweek streaming today?
Socks on.
Yeah. Thought maybe you're on your way to go weekend streaming.
Nah, man, I'm just feeling good.
I'm gonna be doing some weekend streaming, heading to the beach this weekend. So
God bless.
Be doing some streaming of my own.
Well, that's why we don't have a lot of picks, because we need to be enjoying ourselves.
That's right.
For a long weekend. But let's go back over last week.
Okay.
We had 7 suggestions. Mm-hmm. And totals: 2.34 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, 42 strikeouts, and 42 1/3 innings. 4 wins, possibly 5, because Mike Fiers is still out.
Are you going to go back and you're going to grab that win later?
Hell yeah, I am. He was done for the day. That game got suspended. I don't even know when they're completing it.
September, probably.
Future date.
Yeah.
And he's in line for the win right now if the A's can hold on.
So if they can.
They have
he
a
might not
2-run
even be
lead.
on the A's when that game gets completed.
Oh, he's a 100% trade. I'm trading Mike Fiers right now.
So when you track these, can I make a request?
I don't know. What is it?
I'd like you to keep our record of what we consider a good stream. Like, we can even throw a tie in, right? Like, just
this is a 4-star weekend stream.
No. Like this week, like you said, we had how many? 6?
This week?
Yeah, 7. 6.
Or that we did last week?
Well, yeah, that we had last
7.
week. 7. So how many were good?
6.
So were we 6-0-1?
I mean, yeah.
So that's what, like, if you could, like, maybe just mark those so that at some point we can be like, we're 52, 18, and 9 when we pick streamers.
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm just kind of looking at overall numbers, but sure, that's one way to do it.
Oh.
And then you get into the weird ones, like how do you? This is like our old Moser blows we used to do.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. You can trust us. We're
Like what do you? Okay, from 2 weeks ago, Tyler Mahle, 6 1/3, 4 earned, 7 walks plus hits, 8 Ks, not a win. What are we giving that one? Everything's good except the 4 earned.
I'm tempted to give it a push. There's enough good stuff there to make it a push. The win, if he got a win, I'd call that a win.
Puts it over.
Right. But I wouldn't call that a bad.
But it wasn't a quality start if you're in a quality start.
That's why it's a push.
Right.
It's a push.
In DFA, FanDuel.
That start doesn't hurt you. 6 1/3 with 4 runs. Like, I mean, it doesn't help your ERA. It doesn't hurt you.
Well, it wouldn't hurt you. Now, a good manager.
But it wouldn't hurt. Like, that's not enough once you have 300 innings to really bother you.
End of the year, that's just going to be a drop.
I mean, are you really doing that much work that you can't put like a 1 in a win or a loss or a push column in your little spreadsheet? I know you don't have anything going on in your life.
Oh, gosh, fine.
And you are senior fantasy editor, writer,
and you're a DAZN employee.
I am. Me and Tracy Morgan.
That's right. You guys are pretty much equals. You guys, you're back to back when you have your performance reviews.
Hey Trey, how'd it go?
Pretty good. My impression. So
pretty bad.
It wouldn't be bad for Tracy Morgan. It'd be good. So
no, your impression was pretty bad.
Oh, I get it now.
Yeah, good.
You did a really bad impression. To say mine was pretty bad.
Yeah.
We'll get you pregnant. That's what he always says.
Excuse me?
When he's always on talk shows, he always says that.
It's 2019. You can't say that to me at work.
Well, tell him when you see him.
I will.
A little bit later today.
When I'm in the salad bar line?
Yeah, exactly. In our cool cafeteria. Just want to be like ESPN so bad, don't we? But we're not. So anyway, last week was good. The only really bad one, I would say, was Steven Matz. And even he had, a bunch of Ks.
Yeah.
And
against the Marlins, super disappointing though.
Yeah, that part was disappointing. But we had some, Montes almost had the complete game for us. And, Lyles.
Even Reynaldo Lopez was fine.
I mean, the 1K, if you're in an innings limit league, you really hate that 1K in 6 innings.
And you told me to not watch it.
Right.
And I did.
Watch every pitch.
But I watched a lot of it, which we're going to call those for now. We coined a new term.
That's right.
That was an eyes wide shut stream.
That's right. It's an eyes wide shut stream. And you just gotta Tom Cruise those.
Yep.
But Lyles, best start of his career, 12 Ks in 7 innings.
Revenge game.
Yeah, I mean the revenge game we saw coming a mile away. We just, Danny Duffy, which I know you weren't thrilled about, I don't think, that addition against the Angels. Pitched really well, got a W, so we're very proud of last week.
Proud weekend streamers.
This week, look, we got 3, maybe 4. We're going to talk one out loud to see if we want to go with it. But Friday, we got 2, and they're in the same game. So I guess this is just don't watch this game.
This is not eyes wide shut.
Granted, you probably weren't watching Padres Blue Jays anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to be on the beach for this one, and I'm just going to check it out when I come in.
Cool.
I'm going to go Joey Lucchesi.
Okay.
At Toronto. We talked earlier, Toronto's not a good...
They're just bad all around.
There's not a good baseball team.
And righties.
Yeah,
really bad.
Statistically, 28th in the league, OPS versus lefties.
Right.
They only have 6 home runs this year against left-handed pitching. That's 411 at-bats.
Right.
And then to talk about Lucchesi a little bit, he's got a 4.2 ERA, 4.28 ERA, 3.34 FIPS, a little bit better than that.
Right.
Could come down a little. He's got a 3.05 BABIP against. You'd like to think maybe he's a little unlucky. That could come down. So he's about 49% owned in
he's
ESPN
right around,
leagues.
Obviously
I know you got the Yahoo numbers probably.
Well, a lot of people liked him going into the year. Had 2 lights out starts to start the year, and then just kind of a couple bad ones, and people bailed pretty early on him. I was surprised by how much his ownership went down, and but ultimately, it's kind of like Male we were talking about. I think more good than bad this year if you really sort of go start by start.
Yep.
But a couple of those starts were so bad, it's still inflating the numbers.
That's why I like to look at the game log for the pitchers.
His Ks have been a little disappointing. Like, I expected more Ks from him after last year, and he hasn't,
He gets something against Toronto.
Yeah, 8's his season high. Toronto strikes out a ton. They're terrible. You said his biggest problem, or at least it was last year, was giving up homers. Well, they don't hit him.
Yeah.
And the homers are down this year.
I mean, you got Vlad, you got Grichuk who get you one.
You know what's weird about him? He's got weird
reverse
reverse splits. He's hitting better against righties.
Yeah.
It surprised me when I was doing some DFS research. So anyway, I like that one. His counterpart in that game, this one's riskier. This is
where the eyes become wide shut.
They're very wide shut. Trent Thornton, obviously going up against the Padres. They're 24th against right-handed pitching. He's another guy, very up and down. One more good start than bad. It's right on that border, where you just kind of don't know from start to start what you're getting from him, but he has that upside and that potential to pitch well. And I like the matchup. It's funny because
he's had some good starts this year.
He has. He's had some very good starts. And the Padres are a weird team because I always think like they get on the road and they're like, finally, we're in a park where we can hit, and they get more excited to hit. That's defies the idea of just like, hey, you're more comfortable at home. So I don't know. And then
it's a long trip for them.
Well, and you got customs.
Yep.
I mean, come on.
It's a long trip. Potential, is there a Raptors game in town that they might be at the day before or something?
I mean, I suppose it's still possible.
Yeah.
So Thornton, to me, a guy worth a shot. But this is a classic, hey, don't force it. If you're not really feeling the need to stream, don't force it. So there you go. Saturday. We got one.
Yep. I like Tyler Skaggs. At home versus Texas.
Yep.
We talked about Texas in our stat corner a few weeks ago.
Well, hell, what we were saying earlier.
And how they're all left-handed.
They're all lefties.
So what that results in is 24th in the league versus left. Actually, I went a step further.
Yeah.
Because they have a good home park, and this is in.
Right.
This is in. They have a good hitter's park, and this is going to be in LA. So I was like, I wonder if they're any worse on the road. So 24th in OPS versus lefties on the road.
Yeah.
That's good for a 208 average. They're not. They can't hit lefties.
Right.
Skaggs hasn't been great. 5.01 ERA, 4.20 FIP. Not a good FIP, but better than the ERA indicates.
Right.
I think he's worth a shot.
He can strike guys out.
I think he's worth a shot.
Yeah. And he can strike guys out,
Old Skaggies.
He's a fly ball pitcher. I don't like that against a power hitting team.
Yeah, but you got Trout running him down out there. Trout will probably pull one back.
Will he?
Yeah.
He doesn't have Simmons out there to help save runs.
That's true. And that matters.
Did you see... You probably didn't because it happened way late in a game out in Anaheim, but back-to-back hitters.
Well, I heard.
The Ohtani and then the Simmons. But Ohtani played the next day.
Yeah,
when that happened, I feel like you watch as much baseball as you and I watch. We kind of have that's a broken wrist. That's 6 weeks. Like, that's kind of the way we think, right? When we see the guy get hit in the hand, we're like, well, that's a hand or wrist.
Right.
6 to 8 weeks. Done.
You see the guy grimace after the swing. Oblique, 4 weeks.
Exactly. Especially if it's David Dahl. But so I saw
David Dahl, I see him coming from the on-deck circle.
Right.
I assume he's hurt.
I'm like, don't do warm-up swings. Don't risk it.
You get 4 swings today for your 4 at bat.
Don't risk it. Always take a strike. But so anyway, Ohtani, he didn't just get hit in the wrist. He hit the ball with his hand. He made up his mind, I'm swinging at this pitch before it was released. Right. It was way inside.
We've all been there.
Because he struck out on the pitch that hit him in the hand. Because he was swinging and there was 2 strikes. And I was like, well, and he immediately did the whole, drop the bat. I was like, that's broken hand.
Why wasn't that foul ball?
It's not with 2 strikes. It's not. And it hit him, completely hit his hand.
So if it hit his hand... in an earlier pitch, it wouldn't have been a foul ball.
I don't think so. I was trying to track what they were explaining because I was confused too.
Okay.
And they were because there was 2, they kept saying that, and I was like, I was too lazy to look it up because I was late.
Yeah.
But they made it sound like it was because it was 2 strikes, but I don't know.
Maybe they didn't know what they were talking about?
I hadn't heard that
The
rule.
Simmons thing doesn't help their pitchers, that's
But
for
anyway, but Ohtani, and then he was out, and then he was in the lineup the next night. I was shocked.
He's only DH.
But then next batter, Simmons hits a little dribbler, race to the bag between him and the pitcher. Originally, it looked like he stepped on the pitcher's foot. He didn't. He just sort of extended in a weird way to try to reach the bag. And
I always get nervous when my base runners are running to first and they do that
pitcher's
leap.
coming over.
Well, no, they just do that leap for the bag. I get nervous
The
about
extra
sprained ankles.
stride.
Yeah.
Well, you don't want them to go head first either, because A, it's dumb, but B, you never know. They're
Well,
going
you
to
go
jam.
head first if you're trying to avoid a tag.
Well, sure.
It's okay.
But you never know then,
How about feet first and first? The worst thing you could possibly do.
I'd love to see it, though. If a guy made that his thing,
He made it his thing.
I go feet first into first.
Every time.
Probably cost me like 4 base hits this year.
Pop-up slide.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, that don't help. But I still like Skaggs too. So here's the one Sunday on the fence on Spencer Turnbull at the Mets.
So at first, you brought this up, and I was like, yeah, you know me. I'm packing up the car on Sundays.
Sunday, I'm
out.
I got the cooler.
And then you
I'm draining
reminded
it.
me that this weekend's Memorial Day weekend.
That's right.
So really,
You're not.
I'm not. I'm on the beach again.
You're still chilling.
So Monday is a travel day.
That's right.
Which means Sunday, I could be up for a little streaming.
Could be streaming Sunday.
Could be streaming Sunday.
Could be a streaming Sunday.
Yeah.
But here's the thing about Turnbull. We've talked about him before, how his FIP and whatnot are much higher than his actual ERA, which is quite good. Then he goes out there last night against the Marlins, the worst offense in baseball, and gets hit. So you say, okay, regression's starting, or do you
You
say
think the turn's coming?
or do you,
Turnbull?
or do you, there you go, good one. Or do you say he got it out of the way?
Hey, sometimes you need a throwaway start.
Right.
It's just throwaway.
Because the Mets are decent. Like they're right, almost dead center in terms of
Yeah, they're
their
weird.
numbers
Like
against
they get.
righties.
I mean, Sandy Alcantara
Right.
one hit him last week
Exactly.
against Syndergaard, and you know
That's just it. And then you look at their lineup, you're not scared of anyone.
Pete Alonso,
especially with Conforto hurt.
Yeah.
But Alonso hits righties great. But yeah, you just look and you're like, well, this lineup isn't.
If you want this one, I'll co-sign it.
I don't.
Just due to the fact that it's a long weekend.
Well, I just feel like we need to give more than 3.
Yeah. Well, what else?
But I don't want to force it. No Turnbull. He's out. We're mentioning him. This is only if you're desperate. Otherwise, nope. We're not officially counting this, by the way, on the spreadsheet. We only are giving you 3. Sorry.
Well, let's just do a quick look of the Sunday. So now
that's
you've got
all
me
there
interested.
is.
Now you've got me interested.
Well, there was a bunch unlisted, including like against the Blue Jays. So.
Well, yeah, Paddock's probably too far owned.
Oh, yeah, for
Stroman's too far owned. Let's see. Undecided.
We had a homer parade breakout in this.
How about it looks like the Rays are going with an opener. How about whoever comes in after the opener against Cleveland? I'd be fine with. Nats are undecided against the Marlins.
I think that'd be Jalen Beeks, I think.
Nats are undecided against Marlins.
Well, I know their pitcher's good.
Well, who are they undecided about then?
I don't know.
Eric Feed?
Oh, Fetty Wap.
Fetty
I was
Wap?
calling him Fetty Wap when I
maybe.
saw his name.
Eflin's on teams now, right?
Yeah, probably.
Odorizzi against the White Sox, he's on teams.
He's too highly owned.
Yeah,
you know what? Can't force it. Let's just say 3.
Man, I was just looking. I was going to do like an immediate Luke Weaver at the Giants.
He's too highly owned. He's been great this year. Another post hype.
Yeah.
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 It's cool.
All right, but I'm not going to get in the car. I'm not going to pack up though. I'm still going to stay.
You don't have to. Look, give it another look Sunday morning.
That won't happen.
Just give it a look Sunday morning.
I'll be knee deep in a fruity drink by the time fantasy baseball comes around.
I don't know how that sentence was going to end. All right, let's get to some closer talk. Not a lot here. We got a couple random things. Like a Sean Newcomb save for the Braves. Now it's a situation where there's a pinch hitter and a lefty-lefty due up. I think that's why. I mean, Jackson was rested.
Right. Well, you're talking 2 nights ago because last night Jackson blew a save.
Yes. This was Monday night.
Yeah. So you're looking at Monday when Newcomb did this.
Yeah.
But then you follow that up with Jackson giving up 3 runs in the night last night.
I mean, it happens.
It happens.
It happens. No, I think the thing was just, hey, there's at least 2 lefties due up.
No, that thing was on Monday, but now you have more information, which is Jackson blew a save last night.
But so I guess the information.
So I think Newcomb could be in the mix. He's got strikeout stuff. Yeah,
he's around. Sure. Hey, good starters. They can all be good closers.
He's got K stuff.
Yeah.
He's a lefty, which we don't like for closers.
Hate it. So that's ultimately why I'm not like, hey, rush out and pick him up.
No, but I think there might be a little something there after Jackson last night.
Okay, interesting. Red Sox. It looks like Brandon Workman's the new Ryan Brazier.
Yeah, that I can get down for. So Workman, prior to the other night, he actually faced 37 consecutive hitters without giving up a hit.
Right.
So in the record, I forgot the record's like, I thought that'd be close to a record.
Yeah.
But it's actually like in the 80s or 90s or something.
Right.
I forget who it was. One of the dominant closers of our time. I just forget who. I think Workman's moved himself up in the pecking order.
I think he has too.
I think that
And in that save, Barnes worked the eighth.
Right, because I think the eighth was higher leverage, better lineup.
And so Barnes,
whatever.
I finally looked this up. I've been talking about it for like 3 weeks, saying, I'm going to need to look this up. He's absolutely sawing off lefties this year. And it's almost like they view him as you would a lefty guy.
Well, they don't have a
so good.
They don't have a good lefty in the bullpen.
They don't. And now last year he was about even. So it's not like, oh, he always has done this in his career. But this year, lefties cannot hit him. Maybe it's just small sample. I don't know. But
either way, he's dealing pretty much against everyone this year, and he's their best reliever, and he's going to come in when they want him to come in.
So I think
eighth or
Workman's a
ninth.
pickup.
I still think Barnes will lead the team in saves because he's the best reliever.
Yeah, it's like 18.
But I think Workman is ahead of Brazier now.
Yeah, I agree. So I think he's a pickup. Let's talk about the Rangers. We had old Coldplay blowing a save
Yep. That, again, 2 nights ago.
2 nights ago.
Last night, Kelly came off the DL and was inserted right into the save situation.
Got it.
Locked it down.
Leclerc has been used as an opener and a 2-inning guy who came in the 5th inning recently. You know, look, we've said, I think last week we said pick him up. It doesn't look like he's close though. I don't know.
No, I think it's going to be Kelly for a little bit.
When it happens, it'll probably just happen.
Yep.
And we won't even like, wait, what? Kelly has been pitching great, but yeah, I don't know. Sean Kelly just seems like
for
the
sure.
guy.
I mean, the guy came off the DL.
No
and he
need
got
to
the
old
first save.
Coldplay at all then.
I don't think so.
Nah.
I don't think so.
Dump him.
Guy sits out for 10 days and gets the first save off, and he was the closer before.
And you had just blown a save?
Yeah, so
Probably a bad sign.
no need to overthink.
One of our favorites here, the Rays.
Yeah.
We had a whole lot of weekend shenanigans with them. So finally, Jose Alvarado got another save, so I can quit saying that stat. He hasn't had one since April 7th.
Right.
But it came the day after he got blown up.
Right.
And then
Castillo had a nice little week going because he was in my
everything
lineup.
was great. He pitched the 8th inning, I think, of that Saturday game where Alvarado got the save, but then he got blown up Sunday.
In like the 6th inning.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like Emilio Pagan's time.
Or Chaz Roe.
Chaz Roe seems to be like 9th inning mop-up.
I don't even know if he's
that's
healthy.
A thing. If that's a thing.
Yeah.
Like if Chaz,
I just like saying his name.
But it's like he's not early game mop-up. He's the guy that he's literally assigned to like when it's not a save situation in the 9th.
Right.
Up or down 5 in the 9th, Chaz Roe's pitching.
He's got a great name, though. So that name sounds like a nickname.
Chaz Roe?
Yeah.
You think Chaz is his real name?
Well, he goes by Chaz.
Yeah, but you don't think his name's like Charlie Roe?
I'm sure it's Charles.
Yeah, Charles Roe.
Charleston. But the point is, like, he goes by it.
Okay.
You know? So it's like.
You don't know any other Chazes?
And Roe sounds like it's a shortened form of, Rosenkinski or something. Like, he's just Chaz Roe.
Wait a minute. Stop the presses. I think he's just
What
Chaz.
presses?
Chaz Daniel Roe.
That takes balls to name your kid Chaz.
Chaz.
But that's what I'm saying. It all sounds like a nickname. Roe sounds shortened. Chaz sounds shortened. But it's his name.
Yeah, I don't know, man. His name's Chaz.
Damn. That guy is
Is that cool?
better than us.
Is that cool to
It's
be
very cool.
Chaz Roe?
But anyway, I still like Castillo. You still probably say you're going to like Alvarado.
Well, I like Castillo. That's the thing. I
No,
like
but
him.
I like him
think
better than
Alvarado's going to
Alvarado.
get more saves.
Yeah, and I don't. I think Castillo.
Well, anyway, yeah, Castillo got blown up in the 6th.
That should really be a
Sunday.
board bet.
And it was so weird.
Retroactive.
Because I
board bet.
saw when I was checking games, I saw that it was a close. Either the Rays lost Sunday, I guess they would have lost, and I was like, oh, Castillo didn't pitch. And I had a couple good starts that day.
Right.
I was like, why is my ERA so bad? I was like, oh man,
It's always someone.
why did they use him in the 6th inning?
Never what you want. All right. Random Marlins Adam Conley save. There was
Saturday.
On Saturday, lefty righty due up. He got the lefty, but they left him in for the righty. He got him. And Romo, look, he blew a save last night. Runs were unearned.
2 unearned runs, but you go a little deeper. He's
Yeah.
given up runs in 4 of his last 6. We know that's Romo.
Yeah.
We know he's going to get more saves for the Marlins.
Right.
We know the Marlins are probably going to go another way
Right.
at a certain point. We also know the Marlins don't even have
Also,
15 wins yet, I don't
you
think.
probably know what I'm going to say.
What?
Sergio Romo,
Yeah.
prime trade candidate if he's pitching well.
He's a prime DFA candidate.
Okay, both, but if he's pitching well, he's a prime
Sure.
trade for like a low-level minor league guy. on July 31st.
Sure. But I also want to point out the Marlins have 14 wins.
Pretty good.
So I would expect, sometimes like it doesn't matter how good the team is, save opportunities to be there. I don't know. If you only win 50 games and you don't have a good closer,
But if they save them all, though.
they're not good. I mean, there's
save them all.
closers with more saves than these teams have wins.
Well, there's closers like non-closers with more saves.
I mean, you look at the Orioles with 15 wins. You look at the Marlins with 14 wins. And I think, what did Yates get his 18th or 19th save last night?
He just gets to save every night.
Yeah.
There's someone else like that, too, every time I see the number.
Shane Green.
Yeah.
The other team you didn't mention,
Right.
we mention them most of the time. Here's the Orioles.
Yeah.
We don't really care if they don't win games. Gibbons had been fine, though. And then
Yeah, it looked like Gibbons had really stepped into that
and then
role.
a couple nights ago, 4 hits, 5 runs against the Yankees. It happens. Only reason worth mentioning is Sean Armstrong.
Is that a real person?
It's, definitely. I think he walked on the moon.
No, his dad did.
Yeah, for sure. It's a family thing. Since joining the Orioles, 8 1/3 innings, 1.08 ERA, only giving up 3 hits and a run, 10 Ks. I don't know, another dude, but you know what?
Was he good in the minors? How much background did you do on Sean Armstrong?
That's about it.
All right.
But it's the Orioles. They're not going to win
All right.
55 games. They go up in my committee.
I'm
But,
so pissed you're making me type in Sean Armstrong into fan
well, there's
drafts
2 of
right
them,
now.
so careful. There's also a starter for the Giants. So I did
Yeah,
enough.
but that's with a U.
I did enough research to know that there's 2 of them.
Sean, the male Caitlin. Too many ways to spell that stupid name.
I think he's got good minor league numbers.
This is already his second team this year. Bad side.
It's fine. Things happen.
We all need changes sometimes.
Change of scenery.
Oh, he does get a lot of Ks.
Yeah, like
I'll give you
11 or
that.
12 K per 9, right?
I'll give you that. In the minors?
Yeah.
It was over 13
Yeah,
last
see,
year.
I
at
might have looked
AAA.
it up. I just didn't remember to write it down.
Shawnee.
Oh, all of a sudden someone's interested in some Sean. And you know what I always love about pitchers? I love when their arm is really strong.
And he was like a closer in the minors.
Right, but he's like got a strong arm.
Like big muscles?
Yeah, like his name's Sean Armstrong.
Oh, for God's sakes.
Kind of like my favorite.
That was dumb.
Well, it was dumb. It took me 3 times to say it before you figured it out.
Because I didn't think you'd say something so dumb.
No, but it's not. Like, that's cool for a pitcher. Like, Ryan Longwell was a good kicker.
Because his well was long?
Yeah, because he was long and well.
It's not long
No, because he
leg.
was long and well.
Well, yeah, he was well.
That's what,
God.
that's what they say in England, bro.
Now I'm pissed.
Why are
You
you
really
so mad
ended
at all
this
my
on a-
jokes today?
You really ended this on a sour note.
Why? Well, only because you didn't get my joke.
Because it wasn't good.
Oh, and you're going to come here with fart jokes every week and you think those are good?
I don't make fart jokes on this. I only make that on the football, and only when we're talking about Doug Martin,
So there's a time and place.
a.k.a. Doug Farton.
Yes, it's-
His name is Doug Farton. What do you want me to do?
The fact that you get off on fart jokes and I can make a cheesy
Like, I don't say it. Like, for instance, Martin Perez. I could call him Fartine Perez, and I don't.
Only because he's a twin and you don't want
It's
to.
not the only reason. Anyway.
God, why do you have to get so mad? I'm trying to bring some, like,
Strong arm.
spirit and
I
some
thought this one
happiness
was
to
going to be
this.
shorter, and we're over an hour again.
Yeah, don't come next time.
This is the worst.
Don't show up. Leave halfway through if you want.
No, that was a pretty good joke, though. I just wasn't paying attention. That was my bad. I thought you were going for a joke that he was, like, muscular.
No, Armstrong. I said it 3 times.
Because I kind of like that, though, as a joke. Like, oh, he's got great arm strength. Like, oh, he throws 99. It's like, no, he can bench 350. I kind of like that as a...
Of course you do, because it's
Well,
what
remember,
you came up with.
Well, no, but not really. Have you ever seen the movie Necessary Roughness?
Yeah, but I don't remember it.
There's the one where he's like, the quarterback, he's like, let's see the arm, and he flexes. I always thought that was a great
What do you
joke.
expect them to do?
I think I saw it in the 90s. All right.
Are we not going to get in the Game of Thrones finale?
No.
Oh.
We'd be way more
Every
likely
week.
to get into the challenge.
The challenge finale tonight.
Yeah.
You're still all in on Turbo. You think he's going to make up the
Course.
12 or 13 minutes
24
he's back?
minutes.
24 minutes. What do you have it up on your screen?
No, I remember important things.
I'm gonna ride or die with Theo. Still,
don't think you're
knowing
gonna
it's
die.
probably a losing
is.
endeavor, considering Turbo was practicing eating and running last week.
Well, and also just if you know anything about television editing, you know that the way this entire season has been edited, they
wish
literally give him sound effects and
do.
graphics, and they constantly talk about how he's a superhero.
I wish we got sound effects.
God, one day. Yeah, because we'd have an effect on that Armstrong joke.
Yeah.
It'd be like that boner going down slide whistle.
Oh.
And then when I make
Can't say boner on the podcast.
No, you can. And then when I say make my fart jokes, then we'll get
You're such a weirdo.
we'll get good fart noise, and people like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, go to sportingnews.com/fantasy. You can find all sorts of stuff. No fart jokes there, unfortunately. One day, and watch Change Up on DAZN because it's perfect for fantasy owners and DFS.
You still tuning in?
Always. Yep, perfect for DFS too.
Volume yet or no? Still no volume.
NBA playoffs, man.
What about when those end?
Maybe volume then.
Okay.
Maybe volume then. But anyway, that's about it for this week. We'll be back next week with all sorts of stuff. Hopefully more weekend streamers
Well, obviously.
and better jokes.
Well, probably not obviously.
Yeah, you're right.
Listen, the listeners come for the streamers.
Yeah.
They don't come for the I'm sure they would rather have good streaming advice with bad jokes than really great jokes and really terrible advice.
Yeah, because there's a lot of other podcasts you can listen to for good jokes.
Yeah.
And no fantasy
And no
baseball
fantasy.
advice.
So if you want the fantasy
That's actually
stuff,
the majority of podcasts now that I think
you
about
have to
it.
listen to our bad jokes if you want the good
That's right.
fantasy
It's all
advice.
part of it. And this was at the end, so they could easily just end it early, which is what I'm going to do when I listen.
Well, you're
going to
listen to it at 2 times speed.
Oh, always. We sound way smarter if you listen to it at 2 times, or at least 1.5.
Well, I've
times
done the
speed.
half speed
Yeah, that's-
by
you
mistake,
can't
and we
do that.
sound hammered.
Yeah, well, of course. But you listen to it at least 1.5 times speed, it's like, God, these guys are quick.
These guys
They're
are
so
really
sharp.
good.
They just got all this information.
Speeds up the internet connection too, I think.
Yeah, it's better. It's smarter to listen that way. You get more done. All right, that's it. We'll be back next week. For I'm Matt Latewski. Thanks for listening, and until next time.